gentlemen, welcome back. This is Chimera Elite bringing to you another Dogs of War Online gameplay. This is just a quick battle against some lion, Wolfen versus lion as always. And this is an interesting fight, and it brings to light a lot of the ongoing debate issues that are happening on the forum, and a lot of the issues with the game that I've been noticing. And for now, I'm just gonna let you guys watch, and I'll kind of pop in when things start to get interesting. Now right here, my first move is to immediately get elixir points. That's the first thing I want to do. Now, typically I don't go for the objective unless it's in the way of what I'm trying to get to, which is, in this case, just massacring the enemy army. Now, the Chimera, however, has plans for me, and you will see that in 3, 2, 1, boom. 24 damage, vulnerable, almost a one-shot. Now I say almost a one-shot because if she had walked up to me and been able to slap me, just lightly tap me on the shoulder, that unit would have been dead or near death. The only reason he sticks around is because I have this Wolfen enchanter who is lucky enough to be spec'd to give health to the nearest guy who needs it. And in this case, it's the Graveguard, the Scourge of Looters. Now, for me, the backbone of my army, and really the backbone of any army in this new meta, is the hero. I constantly use Howl to make sure my units are doing exactly what I want them to do, and make sure that they can hit things. It also is really nice to just be able to fear everything in a large radius. Who knows? And the backbone of his army is obviously the Chimera. It's kind of funny when his backbone can break my backbone, because if you had my Warg up against his Chimera, my Warg would lose. And later on, you will slowly see why my Warg would lose. Right now, they're not really going toe-to-toe. We're dealing with each other's kind of minions at this time. And eventually, you'll see just how much damage this goddamn Chimera can pour out. It's more than the Warg. She's tougher than the Warg. It's just kind of silly, and I honestly think that the Warg needs a bonus. Like a big, either the Warg needs a big buff or the Chimera needs a nerf, because she just deals so much goddamn damage, and this guy isn't even using her to her utmost capability. If he had switched out like 1 or 2 archers for some sparklings, those sparklings could be essentially killing themselves to give her mana. That mana can equal Celestial Scourges and Guardian Angels. That mana equals me dead on the floor, a smoking pile of meat. So, can you see why I'm a little bit, I guess you could say, fucking open to nerfing her? Just because of how much damage she can deal. And the thing is, she is just flat out better than the Warg. Because if you look at her ability, I think it's Perfect Crystal. She gets like a 30 or 40% increase to her chance to cast spells. Even if I'm right up in her face, just wailing on her, the most I can deal with the Warg is 20 damage in one turn. You'll see this later as I hit her twice for 10 each. 20 damage is all I get on her before I kill her. She hits harder than that. She hits way harder than that, buddy. And the scary part is she can heal herself and her allies, which, whatever, that's fine. This is a bad move, by the way. Should use that on the Warg or someone else. Either way, and this is actually a sentiment of some other guys in the forum, that they need to change how she is. Because in a lot of their opinions, she's not necessarily the Chimera. She's more of a projection. And what that would mean is that she's more of a glass cannon, and she's already a fucking cannon. She hurts. But the thing is, she shouldn't be able to hurt that freaking hard. And admittedly, the Warg hits really freaking hard. But the Chimera costs the same and hits harder and is just flat out a better unit. Maybe my army can pump out more damage. That's only because that's how my army works. And regardless of that, I'm still outnumbered. Now, you'll notice I was a little bit confused with the Wolfen Enchanter. I just realized that he is a flat out mage. There's nothing else to him. And he has heals and he has buffs. That's it. The Chimera is apparently a special butterfly. Why? Because she can cast, if she has the mana, as many spells as she wants, and also at the same time attack that same turn, which I believe to be flat out insane. Because that's more than pretty much any other unit in the entire game. And that combined with Celestial Scourge, she could possibly kill a hero unit in 1 to 2 turns. It takes even my Warg 2 turns to kill any other unit in the game. I can't kill a lion in 1 turn. It takes me 2 turns. Admittedly, I hit for 19s. But that still doesn't really matter a whole lot when she hits on something that's actually meant to take damage, the Scourge of Looters, and hits him for a 24. That's when he was out of range. If she had been able to walk up, just waltz up, smack him, he would not have just flat out. He wouldn't have survived the secondary attacks from the line. Doing some work here. Yeah, no. Let's slap the lion. Couldn't hurt too much, you know? Now the funny thing about all this, that I think is just kind of sad, is that I don't know. I'll get to it later. Don't worry. I find it kind of funny that he had his archers run all the way around. I guess he was fishing for elixir points, but didn't really do him much good. It's not even a want anymore. I need it dead if I have any shot at winning this. No, I don't have any heals. My guy's almost dead. What do we do here? Master Strike? Sounds good to me. And guess what? It works. I probably could have done something even better, but at the time, this is what seemed good to me, and hell, it works. Hit for 22, kill the guy, move on to the Chimera, whiff, die. What's done is done. She hits me for 27, almost half my health bar. She walks up, slaps me for 12. I hit her for 10. Does that not seem like something's wrong with this picture? One turn, almost 40 damage, 39 if my math's right. That is insane. That's just flat out ridiculous. Even with healing, and I need to give this guy credit, he died to keep the Warg alive for like another turn or two. I could not have come close to winning this without him. That motherfucker kept this whole thing going. And who knows, at some point I might actually switch out my devotee of Yilla for another healer. Because they're just so goddamn useful, and they keep my front line chugging along. And I'm not really lacking in damage, I guess. Who knows? Still tweaking it to find exactly what I want. But this guy I like, just because he can kind of do anything I want him to do. And it's nice. He can buff my fear, he can heal to a small extent, he can make my guys a little bit better parrying, he can make them deal even more damage if needed. He's kind of the best guy for the job, you know? And he does a fantastic job. But just kind of go back to what I was talking about in the beginning. In my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of guys on the forums, either the Chimera needs a buff, or both the Warg and the Flesh Golem both need buffs. I haven't played so much with the Flesh Golem, so I'm not entirely sure. But right now, at this moment in time, I feel like the Flesh Golem possibly would need a buff. Because, I mean, look at this for a second. In the past, there were essentially 3 tiers. The Chimera, who cost the most, the Flesh Golem, who cost the second most, and then the Warg. That was kind of their ranks in usefulness, once they were upgraded and kind of fully decked out. Now, the Chimera still stands at the top, and the Warg still stands at the bottom of that list, but they all cost the same. Anything wrong with this? I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But right now, the Chimera, and I'm not the only one, again, who holds this sentiment. Hell, even on Facebook, I commented on the Dogs of War Online page, and there's a guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna be one-shotting heroes and just having my way with things until they patch the Chimera and until they nerf her. And I'm like, okay, hey, someone who actually plays a lion admits the fucking Chimera is insanely powerful and is kind of just ridiculous. So yeah. That is that. If you guys enjoyed this video, and I know I did, even though I lost, leave a like. If you want more, subscribe. And I will see you all guys and gals when I see you guys. Peace.